Welcome back, everybody. Time to go ahead and do Lyrith, so let's make another video. Alright, so this TOAH hard Lyrith, you have to approach this a little differently than on normal, but I've been of the opinion for a little bit that people come at this a little too defensively. And by that I mean, it's a little easier to kill if you bring more murder, I guess. So, let's see here. Always useful on the TOAH hard bosses to go ahead and bring your Verde, TOAH, if I can find TOAH, there we are, Beretta normally. I actually find that using something like Varad is fine to replace Beretta because you don't really use dots in this fight. At least not nearly like you do for the others. But who else am I bringing here? Maybe? Maybe. Maybe we'll do Bella instead. My Bella's bad. Really bad. It's probably still enough, but yeah, let's try it. See how it goes. Consistent defense break is probably a good call. So, a lot of people will use Beretta in that lead spot, and that's fine. I'm using Varad instead and just giving a little bit of more safety net with the HP lead. But what you'll find is having the debuffs and buffs from someone like Bastet and then Verde and TOAH will actually deal quite a bit of damage and make this fight go much faster. Let's see how this works. There's lots and lots of different ways to go at this fight. This is just how I do it. And of course this first wave is always a pain in the neck, but I haven't had too much problems with it since I started using this comp. So we're going to focus down. Yeah, we're going to keep doing this. And they die faster than you'd expect, they really do. It would have been nice to have that Anivil get frozen, but that's okay. Let's see here. Oh, that's a shame. That's alright, though. So this move of hers, this actually hurts real bad. But I don't expect they'll get too many of those. I'll just go ahead and finish these guys off and move on. The next stage in this one's super easy, so not too worried about that. go ahead and kill these Veramos first. They're annoying. So again, a lot like on Artemil, the most important thing to bring for this place is going to be your consistent CC. Whether you use one of the Taoists, something like a Veramos, it's not as consistent, but it does work. You can use one of the Okeanos type or Hathor. Those all work just fine. Just make sure to cover all your bases. You want to make sure to bring heal block of some sort. That's very important. Now, I've got it on Bastet, and that's decent, but there are a lot better for the heal block portion. Vrad obviously taking care of my CC. You do need some sort of heals just in case it's a little bit too much for if you're just bringing a shielder. And then the core, of course, is having a attack bar resetter like Vrad or even Beretta, and then Verde Hua is just a very good core for this. There are entirely other ways to do this if you don't have a Verde Hua, but if you do, this is the way you want to go with it. Alright, let's see how she splits. I guess we'll just do this. Alright, so she has kept red, which is actually kind of crappy, but that just means we have to get her cycled through. Red, if you don't remember how all this works, if she's kept red like she has now, then every time you attack her, she will counterattack you. I believe she also strips a buff when she does that. Blue is super high defense and stuns people when it attacks, but otherwise is not particularly deadly. Green, Envy, I guess, is mean and steals attack bar every time it's attacked. In general, just causes a real bad time. So you want to make sure to only attack green when it is stunned, like it is now. When it is stunned, though, that's generally who you want to focus. And again, if you're using a comp like this that's a little bit more offensive, it goes down pretty quick. You don't have to worry too much about it. Also, keep track of that, the boss turns. I think we're okay doing this. Let's go ahead and get the boss slow. Normally you'd want to do that pretty quick. Oh, come on, cycle over. There we are. Go ahead and defense break the blue one. Pretty much not going to kill the blue one unless you're defense breaking it. Oh, that was a nice little one. I can probably mess around with this now. Oh, and you know, I should probably put attack down on that boss. It's another thing that Bastet brings that's super handy to have around. No, didn't get it there. Alright, now that move the boss does, that hurts. But the boss does it rarely enough. That's the red move. but the boss does it rarely enough that it's not normally too much of an issue. Now I need to get a slow on this boss again. There we go. Now we do actually want the boss to get some turns in here because, for the most part, if you have to spend a long time with this boss countering you, you're just going to die. So I'm trying to balance when these others die. Right now, boss is going to be sucking them back in, not this turn, but next. So I'm going to try to be very careful on how I work that. Alright, so this should be the turn that she pulls him back. Alright, I think we're good to go now. Let's go ahead and get our shields up. Alright, hopefully we can just survive this. That's really the goal. Get that attack down there. Oh, that's not what I want you to do, TOAH. Of course, you could just violent proc a whole bunch and never let the boss move anyway. It is much easier to kill the boss when it's stunned, though. TOAH wants no piece of that, I guess. Alright, well, maybe we're just going to kill it this way. You know what I think we're doing? We're just going to hit auto Because auto always seems to allow the enemy to get a turn, even when they shouldn't. So we'll just do that. Play some reverse psychology on it. I think we're getting close. Oh, boss gonna take a turn. There we go. Alright. Now let's make sure we get all these buffs, debuffs, and all the above. I'll go ahead and do that. Man, if we can get a slow on here. There we go. I think we're in business now. Alright. So once you're to this point, you actually can pretty much just hit auto, and because you've got the attack buff not being removed from Bastet, boss is going to die pretty quick. There were a lot of mechanics we didn't hit here because the boss didn't have more than one split. When the boss itself keeps green, that makes it really easy to get to the phase that we're in right here. It cycles through super quick once you've killed the mirror images. As far as this phase, red isn't ideal because you do have to bring a little bit of healing to keep up with that, but it's also not a particularly long run, whereas if she keeps blue, she just takes forever to kill. She's not very dangerous at all, just takes a lot to kill. One of the toughest aspects of this level is mostly just being able to bring what you need to deal with the first wave and still be able to deal with the last. If you've got a Varad, fantastic, makes it super easy. If you don't, you're going to have to work with different things. There are plenty of those in the game, but of course, you know, not all mons are created equal. So hopefully this was helpful. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will get to them. Let's see if this was kind to me at all. Whoops. Not exactly something useful, but that's alright. Thank you for watching.